Okay, so welcome everybody. We are going to be talking today about how to master your jealousy weapons. This is a very special masterclass or seminar for men. I'm right now in Bali over here in Ubud. Beautiful weather, beautiful skies. And I'm testing a little bit the seminar platform. So right now over here I'm talking to Zoom, and over here I'm talking to Facebook Live, but I'm going to direct my intention over here to the Zoom. So if you see me looking away from you, it's because I'm right now on the Zoom platform. So yeah, let's test a little bit this. So jealousy. Is this something that you encounter in your life? Is this something that comes up to you when you are in a relationship with your partner, with your girlfriend, with your wife? Is this something that is sabotaging your love life? And if you answer yes to any of that, it means that it's an issue, you know, it's something that is in the back of your mind, present in your field, and is going to sometimes give you a really hard time. So you have different degrees or different levels of intensity that you can have with jealousy. Some people are going to be absolutely never ever triggered, or jealousy never comes up, and so they score at 0% in terms of jealousy outbreaks. And then there are the people or the men who are going to be scoring at 70, 80, 100%. It means that jealousy is going to be a major issue that is impacting their relationship and their love life. So what I'm going to do right now is just give you an overview about jealousy, the dynamics, so that you really understand what's happening when it comes to jealousy. Why is it that it exists on this planet? You know, nature gave us this gift of ability to be jealous, and why? Where does it come from? So we're going to cover some very simple mindsets and concepts. I don't come from a psychology background, okay? I come from life coaching, and what I'm going to share with you are my insights directly on the ground, you know, working with men facing jealousy issues in coaching sessions, answering questions in forums, and so on. So I developed the first program on jealousy back in 2002, 2004, around that time. Created ebook, videos, and so on, because it was a major issue for many men. So let's look at very simple dynamics, okay? So where does the jealousy come from? Why is it that nature designed what we call the jealousy weapons? And hey Dharmaraj.
Hey Shiva.
So why is it that nature designed what we call these jealousy weapons? And the answer is pretty simple. Imagine that we are back 400,000 years ago in the plains of Africa, and imagine that the moment you take your attention away from your family, from your children, it puts them in danger. So I do believe that at that time we designed precisely this, you know, psychic power or energy power, and an ability to basically control or create a frame or create a space within the context of your relationship, so that the integrity and the safety of your children is being protected. So let's reverse a little bit. Imagine that you are a woman, and then your man runs away with another woman from a rival tribe. So what is happening at that moment is that the children and the safety of the family is being threatened, okay? So what does nature do? Nature gives power to this woman to actually have some form of control or some form of containing energy into the space of the relationship. So if we fast forward, into today's world, probably 70, 80%, 90% of the jealousy that you might be facing in your life is what I would call unjustified. It means that it's an overreaction. You have this instinct inside of you and you are going to be overreacting. For instance, you might be afraid of the dark, right? You might be afraid of certain things in life that have no potential to happen, but because we have been programmed and we have been conditioned in a certain way, then we express these patterns even though they are not justified. So you have what we call justified and unjustified jealousy. It's very simple. And 80-90% of your jealousy responses will happen in situations that are unjustified. If you look at that on a planetary level, this is probably what is happening. Okay? So we are going to just quickly check on these patterns and really understand the dynamics. And if you want, what is the core or the real intention of a jealousy outbreak? The intention is very simple. The intention is to protect and preserve your relationship. This is why nature designed it. So what you will notice is that in most cases, when men are expressing their jealousy, what they are going to do, they are not going to strengthen their relationship. They are going actually to sabotage it. They are going to start establishing control patterns and mind frames and emotional reactions that are going to sabotage the stability and the connection that they have with their partner. So check for yourself in your own life situations where you have been exposed to jealousy in the past. Your jealousy response, did that create connection? Did your partner go like, oh my God, I love it when you're getting jealous with me, this really turns me on. It's like I feel so attracted, I feel my heart opening. No, most of the times when you have a jealousy outbreak, your partner is going to retreat and feel threatened and feel attacked. And so what this does is that your jealousy response creates the exact opposite of what you want to manifest in your life. What you want to manifest in your relationship is increase the attraction, increase the connection, and strengthen the connection, the energetic or exchange that you have with your partner. So most of the times when you express your jealousy, it's going to be sabotaging your connection with your partner. That's it. It's a very simple thing. So to talk about justified and unjustified jealousy, we can also bring the concept or the idea. When you express your jealousy, is this a mature or immature response? Are you in your mature masculine or your immature masculine? This is really what we can look at. So the question that you can ask yourself when you are responding and having a jealousy outbreak, you might ask yourself, am I in my mature masculine or am I in my immature masculine? And if you are in your immature masculine, your inner child is complaining, whining, resenting, blaming, all these patterns which are shadow patterns. Those are the kind of things that you want to kind of wipe out or tend to not give them too much space in your relationship and start shifting to mature patterns, okay? So now we have the frames, we have a little bit the context of what jealousy is about and what we are trying to do here. So what we are trying to do is not to suppress or kill jealousy, okay? I think that jealousy is a wonderful thing. This might be surprising, but jealousy is a great thing. It's like it was given to us to protect and preserve the integrity of the relationship. It means that there are going to be certain situations where the integrity of my partnership, I have like 3 children, my wife is running away with another man. If I express powerfully from a place of power and presence, from a place of mature masculine energy, express my jealousy in a very specific way, which we are going to explore in a moment, then that is going to strengthen the integrity of my relationship, and I might be able to, you know, to protect precisely the integrity of my family, so that my wife or partner stays present with the children and with the family and offers us a space of protection. And so, again, you know, look at the general context. What is the core intention? The intention is to preserve the integrity of your relationship or your family. That's it. It's very simple. So now that we have these dynamics set, let's look at some of the tactics, okay? So this is where it gets very, very delicate, because you need to use your willpower and you need to use conscious intention. If you just go with, you know, with flow and mental conditioning and mental, you know, mental, willpower, it's not going to be good enough. What you have to set up is really a field of intention that says, I want to create safety in my partnership, and I'm going to do everything I can so that my partner, my girlfriend, wife, feels really safe, feels seen, feels honored when she's in my presence. It's not just shifting one pattern, it's shifting the very core intention of your relationship. Excuse me just for 1 second. Here's my jamu, the magic. Okay, so the core, the core intention of the relationship, the core intention that you're trying to ground right now in your relationship is to create a space that is fun, exciting, grounded, powerful, where there is a very high level of spaciousness and freedom within the context of your relationship. So think about that, you know, and you ground that inside your field. This is the man that you want to be for your partner. You don't want to be an idiot. You don't want to be an asshole. You don't want to be somebody who is systematically controlling her because you have insecurities in your field, traumas from past relationships. You know, you have a past girlfriend that cheated on you, and now you are trying to fully control your partner. You are overreacting when she's just having a conversation with a man. All those are sabotage reactions that are going to basically limit the ability of your couple to thrive. It's going to limit the ability of your partner to simply relax and have a good time with you. Okay, so when you look at that, you look at the intention, that's already 50% of the solution. So what I want you to do right now, if you are a man who is facing jealousy issues, make a commitment to yourself and to your partner. I want to create a relationship that feels really, really good for my partner and myself to be in. It's a simple commitment. And what this means is #0 drama. You don't need drama in a relationship. You don't need drama in the space. Of course, a fight every now and then, you know, a bit of passion and emotions rising, there's nothing wrong with that. But the dysfunctional jealousy that you might be facing in your life is something that is completely fucking killing the resonance and the vibration and the harmony that you might have with your partner. So instead of being an idiot and keep on going into immature patterns, you go like, no, what would the mature masculine do? How would the mature masculine hold space to create a fantastic relationship with that person? And again, talk about emotional safety. You commit yourself to create emotional safety. This means that your partner comes back home, okay? She went out, she was out with some friends, and while she's away, you get emotionally triggered. You start entering into these delusional loops. Oh, she's probably cheating on me, she's probably... And then she comes back home, and you give her a hard time. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to create distance. You do that once, you know, your relationship might survive, but if it's a pattern that repeats itself, eventually, you know, you go like, oh, I don't know why we don't connect sexually. Of course, because she might be scared of you. She might feel threatened to you. Of course, she's not going to open her heart if all you are doing is controlling her life and being nasty and behaving in ways that are limiting her freedom and the expression of her beauty and femininity, okay? So this is the first step. It is commit yourself to be a fucking mature man. Don't be a child. Don't be, you know, don't fall into the immature patterns, into sabotage patterns that are going to basically destroy the harmony of your relationship. So that commitment can be summarized in something that is very simple, is hashtag zero drama. Write this down, put it in your mind, put it in your frames, put it in your world, and start behaving from that place. This is the intention, this is the river, this is the frequency that you want to start activating in your relationship. The second tactic is make a very strong distinction between justified and unjustified jealousy. Justified jealousy is when there is a real threat to your partnership. There is a man who is coming a little bit too close to her. They're starting to flirt, engage, kind of go on light dates maybe, or something is going on that you go like, okay, well, I need to have a conversation, I need to do something about it. And there are different things that you can do at that moment. When the jealousy is justified, then you can take action. This is why I use the word master your jealousy weapons, because you're not just going to blast and be like, what's going on with that guy, you know? You're starting to spend way too much time with him, you know. This is me. When I do something like that, I'm being in reactive mode, I'm being tense, I'm not being in my center, and I'm not being in my power. So if I have a jealousy outbreak, I'm going to take a moment to witness. I go like, oh, interesting. Wow. This guy, who happens to be one of my friends, is really hitting on her really hard, and she likes it, and she's inviting him for more. So that's a justified jealousy, potentially justified, because maybe, you know that she's not going to cheat on you, you know that she's not going to leave you, she's just enjoying the flirting game, the flirting play. Depending on the boundaries that you have in your relationship, that might be completely all right. Within the relationship that I have been in, most of the times, that's not a real threat. You know, I might project things, I might imagine things, but most of the times that's not a real threat. I'm with a woman, and she's committed to be in this relationship with me, and she's enjoying the attention of another man for a while. She's investing 90% of her romantic potential in us, in my relationship with her. Okay, so that might not be a real threat. It's really important to make a distinction, because if at that moment, imagine that she comes back from a dance, a party, an event or something, and she comes back home and she says, oh yeah, I saw Peter and we had a nice dance. And I go like, oh, Peter again. What the fuck is going on between you guys? You're always talking about him and he's texting you. What the fuck is this? So you feel the reaction right now. When I'm in that space, I'm threatening her. I'm attacking her. I'm controlling her. What do you think she's going to do when I behave like that, when I respond like that? She's going to be, oh yes, I love it when you abuse me. Of course not. Of course she's not going to respond like that. So instead, because when I go into trigger mode, I'm not being, really smart. This is not a ninja move that is going to bring me what I want. What I want is to create strong connection with her. I want her to be in my field and be like, wow, I love it when I'm feeling your power and your energy. That's the reaction that you want her to express. So how am I going to gain that? I'm going to gain that by claiming her. And how do I do that? If she comes back home and I know she spent some time with this guy, then, why is it that she would choose him instead of me? She would choose him instead of me if I cannot measure to my power, if I feel insecure, if I'm not creating safety and so on. So what I'm going to do instead is do the exact opposite. Even if I have a jealousy trigger inside of me, maybe a jealousy trigger which is at 20%, I'm going to fucking cover her with my love and my passion and my fire. How does it look like? She comes back home, I take her in my arms and I go like, you're so fucking juicy, man. I want to make love to you right now. So this is a movement of claiming her. You see, I'm showing my passion and my desire to have her in my field. I'm strengthening the connection that we have together instead of sabotaging it through an immature response. You see what's happening? When I expose her to that energy from a mature, powerful man, she will feel like, oh my God, I feel claimed. I feel like this man is really showing up for me. So let's transfer that, and instead of being in a private setting, you are in a public setting, right? There's an event. Again, you are there together, and then this man is flirting with her. What do? You go like, you approach. You don't go looking at what's happening, what's going on over there, resenting, and on the way back home, you blast wide open. No, this would be the immature. This would be the stupid response. The mature response would be like, you approach. You come close to her, close to them. They are having a conversation, and you put your arms around her neck, and you look at the guy, and you look at your girlfriend, and you say something like, hey, brother, nice to meet you. I'm Shiva, what's your name? See, and you put your arm around her. This is my girlfriend. You give the signals, the mature alpha signals. This woman is taken. It's fine for her to have a conversation. It's fine for you to have a flirt with her. But realize that she's mine. Okay, she's taken. So this is a claiming intention. When I do that, I'm positioning myself as the alpha male in her life. That position is no longer available for another man. And so if I don't have the power to do that, and I see this conversation going on and I retreat and I go in my immature male, what do you think is going to happen? The attraction between the two of them is going to build up because I'm not showing up. So the claiming of this woman is something that is really sexy. Most women want to be claimed because it makes them feel valued. They go like, wow, he's really choosing me. He's really, showing up for me. And so when I'm putting my arm around her like that, I'm not threatening her. I'm literally showing how much I fucking love this girl. And in the process of doing that, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to strengthen our connection. So this is an art form, okay? It's not just a recipe and you go like, oh, when I do that. No, it's like explore the pathways to strengthen the connection. And when you are embodying that, is this a move? Like, is this a ninja move that feels really, really, really good and powerful? The other thing that happens when I'm doing that, in a public place, and I'm like, and then I look at this man and I establish a bonding brotherhood connection. This means that there is a brotherhood connection of authenticity and truth with that man. I am not interested in like being threatening to him either. This might be a beautiful man. It might be really nice to have him in our lives for whatever reason. He might become a really good friend. So I'm not going to attack him. I'm just going to signify and connect and be like, hey, what's going on in your life? Who are you? Tell me more about you. So I'm going to be interested in creating a connection with that brother, because once we are brothers, there is like the brotherhood codes. He's not going to go and steal my girlfriend or wife if, it can happen, of course. But if we have a very strong bonding brotherhood energy together, then it's going, he might most probably show up as a protector of our coupling experience rather than a threat. So those dynamics are very subtle, okay? We are talking about social dynamics that we have to explore from a place of maturity and beauty and learn how to navigate all that. This is really, really important. Realize that the way you are going to express your jealousy, for instance, when I'm precisely claiming her in a public place, when I'm doing that, this is a mature jealousy response. I'm mastering my jealousy weapons. I'm not going around chopping people's heads with my, jealousy swords. What I'm doing is like, and really owning it. At that moment, when I'm in a social situation, I might feel a little bit triggered. But I'm not going to use that trigger and build up on that and then create a whole drama around it, because that would be precisely the opposite of what I want. So this is mastering your jealousy weapons. I'm not suppressing what I'm feeling, I'm like, yeah, wow, what's going on over there? Interesting. And then the public claiming of your wife or girlfriend is a really sexy thing. Most women like that, okay? Unless you are doing it in a way that is really inappropriate. But most of the times, if you are really mature presence, owning your power, it's going to be something that is really, really, really sexy. If it's unjustified jealousy, if it's a situation where there is no real threat. Sometimes I'm having a conversation with this woman, just a friend, somebody that I meet, and I can see her behaving in ways where she's not leaking sexual energy towards me. I know she has a boyfriend, I know she has a partner, I know she's really sexy, but she's not giving me signals of wanting to engage further. She's being polite, nice, friendly, a little bit of touch. There might be elements that are flirty elements, but I can feel from within that she's not engaging. She's not betraying her couple by having this conversation. So if I'm her partner and I witness that, I have two possible responses. One of them is be like, trust her, trust that she's not betraying the relationship, or enter into trigger mode and start attacking her and challenging her. So I notice that very often with couples who are really good at creating safety and are committed to each other and have been together for long term. You might have a family. So this is a pattern that I witnessed in women. Very often they are going to be present and there is no real threat. It means that they are not engaging. They don't have the intention of creating a connection with me. So for their partners, what I want to say is like, if you react in an immature, jealous way, then most probably it's going to create some friction that doesn't need to be there. Okay, so keep those dynamics in mind when you are exposed to jealousy triggers. Again, the question is simple: is this jealousy justified or is it unjustified? And you have to realize that 90%, 70, 80, 90% of the jealousy that is being expressed on this planet right now is completely unjustified. We don't need that level of control, suppression in relationships. Let me just check the time for a second. Okay, we are halfway now. So, how are you doing? If you have any questions, feel free to post, comment, and we are going to keep on diving a little bit deeper into all that. So, what if your jealousy is justified and she's actually pursuing another man? Okay, we take that one step further. So right now you are in a committed relationship with this woman, and she is basically, it's more than flirty. She's like really starting to create a level of intimacy with another man, and it might be outside of the boundaries of what the agreement is for your relationship. You are in a committed relationship, and you feel that basically that's it. She's giving her attention away to another man, way more than what feels comfortable. So the moment you see this energy build up, okay, the moment you see that she's really starting to engage her emotional, romantic potential into another man, then you can sit down and have a conversation, have a chat. This is not you entering into immature, childlike, reactive mode and having a tantrum, okay? This would not work. If you want to sabotage your relationship, just do that. It's gonna kill the chemistry and it's going to make her want to run away. So this is not what you're gonna do. You're going to be like, oh, interesting. I feel like there is something happening in my system that I would love to check. So how do you do that? You do what I call a shadow check in your relationship. You're going to sit down with your partner at a moment where you both agree to be completely present, and you invite her into that space. Okay, those are communication patterns, mature communication patterns. You say, listen, I've got something that is coming up in my field and I don't know what to do about it, and I was wondering if we can sit down and have a chat about it, so that we can co-create some form of solution or some form of, see through what's happening and gain some clarity. When would be a good time for us to sit down? So in my relationships, when I'm in a relationship, in a committed relationship, that's a protocol or communication protocol that I'm using all the time. Okay, we're not having like 20 shadow checks a week, don't worry. It's something that when something comes up and I can feel that either my girlfriend or myself enter into some form of trigger zone, I go like, oh, obviously something's happening with you. I feel like you're distant, or, so instead of simply having this conversation, I say, let's have a shadow check. Let's look into the unspoken dynamics right now and see what's happening. So you're going to sit down with your girlfriend and instead of being like, you are flirting with this guy, I can feel something is happening, this is aggressive, this is attack, this is charged. You don't want to do that. You want to sit down and be like, let's make some eye contact, connect, have a glass of wine if you drink, or a spirulina smoothie like me, and then you go like, I am facing something, some emotions in our dynamics, and I would love to check that out with you. Okay? So over the last few weeks, I noticed that there is an intensification of this connection that you are having with this brother, with this man. And tell me more about what's happening. So it's very simple. It's like we are exploring. It's not an attack. I'm not in a place where it's charged. I'm just asking for, clarity, and I'm asking for understanding about what's going on and what's happening. So there are different things that can happen. At a moment like this one, she might not be completely true, not completely authentic. It's an exploration. Okay. So it's really important that when she starts sharing, or she brings up the topic, then what you're going to do, you're going to sit down and listen. She might be like, yeah, you're right. I like this guy. And if you were not around, maybe I would date him. Or she might be like, yeah, he's giving me lots of love and attention and we haven't been intimate. Or she might be like, can I be totally honest with you? Our relationship is no longer working for me. you know. So whatever she's saying at that moment, you listen, okay? You don't interrupt. These are moments of truth in your relationship, and it's really, really important to nurture them with lots of beauty and care. The moment there is a moment of truth like that happening in your relationship, you want to just sit down and honor it. And some of these moments of truth might be uncomfortable, okay? There might be things that trigger you really profoundly and are going to bring you to a place of vulnerability. That's possible. That's part of the relationship dynamics. It's not something that you want to avoid. So she might be sharing that, and then, you know, whatever is going on there, what you want to do is be present to that. So in the sharing process, I'm going to do another full seminar, a set of videos on the topic. It's already available on my website, on vitalcoaching.com. But basically what you want to do in this communication protocols is first listen, second thank you for voicing your truth. This is what you want to say. Those are the exact words. You can modify them if you want, but basically what you're saying is thank you for voicing your truth. Thank you for having the courage to voice something that might be uncomfortable. And I honor that, and I'm in gratitude for that. I want you to do that more. Okay? So this is a moment of gratitude. Thank you for expressing that. It's really, really important not to attack her on what she just said. Because otherwise, you know, if you don't feel safe sharing truth in your relationship, then you're just not going to do it. If every time you voice something that is uncomfortable, you get attacked, guess what's going to happen? You know, it's like smashed. You go like, well, I'm not going to voice what is alive inside of me anymore. Okay? So, back to the conversation. Listen, say thank you. And number 3, which is really, really important, you are going to repeat exactly what she said. Not all the words, not all the sentences, but the essence of what she's sharing. And that might look like this. So what you're saying, what I hear you say is, there is no threat to our relationship. That man is just a friend. You are just enjoying his company, and you have no intention of pursuing this further. Or it might be, so what you're saying is that over the last year you haven't been feeling the connection with me, and you are losing interest and passion in our relationship. You see, this is not easy to share. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's really, really important to anchor it so that you can really identify the truth. So you repeat a few things that she said. If you have any doubt, you can ask, did I get this right? Or would you like to reframe that? Did I miss anything? The beauty about that is that everybody's really calm. You might be triggered inside of you, but you're not, threatening or attacking. Okay, so I'm going to dive deeper into the communication techniques for couples, but basically what you want to do is really create this space of safety. I encourage you, when you have a check-in like this one, is not to stretch the check-in for too long. If you have a shadow check, very often I would say maximum 1 hour, ideally just 15 minutes to half an hour. It's just a moment where you drop in, you say, okay, I hear everything that you are saying. Here is how this makes me feel. Here is how I have a couple of follow-up questions, things like that. Can you clarify this point? Things like that, to simply gain some understanding about the dynamics of what's happening. And set up the timer so that you know that you're not going to cross, and spread this conversation for 2 hours. You decide before you start, I just have half an hour, then I have to go and meet another friend, or I have to go to work, whatever. Decide how much time you have, and then when the time ends, you go like, okay, we gained some clarity over here. Thank you for voicing your truth. Let's reflect on what was shared today and see if there is something we need to do about it. Because maybe you don't need to do anything about it. Maybe it's like, okay, so what you're saying is that this man is not a threat and everything is good. Yeah, I love you. That's it. Give each other a hug, make passionate love to each other, and that's the end of the story. until potentially another trigger comes up, maybe a few weeks later. And so you finish the conversation, the container is closed, and that's it. You don't bring it up again for at least a few days, a week or 2 weeks or something like that, okay? This is not an ongoing conversation. This is not entering into a processing mode that keeps on going for days and you're talking about this shit all the time, because that's going to sabotage again the relationship. So you create these very safe containers where you can share truth, and then you close the container and you go back to having fun together, okay? This is really, really important to understand. Your relationship is not a space for ongoing psychodrama. It's exhausting to be in a place which is a processing place all the time. So the processing time, you know, if you have something to process, I would say that you can process maybe 20% of the time. If you have 5 days of really high vibration bliss with your partner, and then one day you get triggered by something, or something is going on, and then you enter into processing mode, and that's fine to have a little bit of time. But if every single second day there is something challenging that comes up, and then you have to be processing all that all the time, then it's going to, you know, to destroy the fun and quality of your relationship. So you want to focus on having lots of fun, lots of good time, lots of sensuality, lots of connection, romantic time, passion, all these qualities that give you relationship credits, right? You start scoring higher in the potential of your relationship. And then there are certain things that take credits away. The credits away is when you have fights, when you have shadow outbreaks, when you have insecurities, when you get sick, when you have things that require an extra input of energy. So you want to build up credits, basically. You want to have stuff that is fun in a relationship. So, you know, when I'm talking to women who decided to break up with a man, you know, these issues come up very, very often. It's like, I cannot take it anymore, man. He's trying to control my life all the time. So when a man is controlling a woman, if you are a man who is controlling that woman, how do you think this makes her feel? The reason why you got attracted to this woman in the first place is because she was juicy, fun, sexy, looked happy. And then you come in and you go like, jealousy triggers, control patterns, and then you know what happens to her femininity, to her beauty, to her joy, to her inner child. It contracted, resentment, her shoulders go down, she starts retreating. She doesn't open up anymore. It's horrible. Yeah, think about it. You are killing exactly what you were meant to protect in the first place. So there is a bigger mission here. The divine secret masculine is here to protect females. He's here to protect the women, you know, and the same the other way around. Of course, it's not just being genocentric and focusing all your attention on the women in your life. No, it's like you are the center of your world, but part of your mission is to hold space for the beauty of the feminine. So don't sabotage it, you know, don't ruin it. It's like it's within the range of what's possible. And it's possible once you understand the dynamics and you're anchoring that. So commit yourself. If you can, really write this down and make a commitment. If jealousy is something that you feel in your field, hashtag zero drama. Own it, protect it, make it happen, okay? So we're going to check another couple of dynamics within that. Self-sabotage, mature, immature, master your jealousy weapons, origin. Okay, another tactic, quick one, self-talk reframing. Imagine that you have a situation where your girlfriend decides to go to the gym, and before going to the gym, she's like makeup and making herself all sexy and pretty. And your story is like, why is she doing this? You know, why she's always so sexy when she goes out. She wants to seduce other men at the gym. You know, you don't have to do that. Why are you doing this? You know, so the story is like, she wants to cheat on me. She's probably wanting to connect with another man. Blah blah blah. You know, all these stories, all this self-talk, delusional stories. You enter into this spinning, precisely jealousy outbreak. That is Unjustified. It's very beautiful for her to feel pretty and to feel really validated and to feel seen by other men. That's it. It's a very simple thing. You don't want to suppress it. You don't want to attack her. You don't want to challenge her. So instead of bringing it up and say, oh, you're going to the gym again, right? Look at you. Oh, lipstick and stuff. What the fuck is this? Okay, this is the toxic jealousy outbreak. The healthy jealousy outbreaks. Like, hey, honey, so glad you're going to the gym. Have fun, enjoy, and I'll see you later. That's it. It's a blessing. Have fun, enjoy. I want her to have a good time, for God's sake. And I want her to feel pretty. I want her to feel seen. I want her to get attention from other males. Because guess what? If she feels attention from other males, then she feels like blossoming as a woman. And then guess who is going to benefit from that? It's me. She actually comes back with the beauty and the juice and the energy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy to have this woman in my life. Because at the end of the day, it's with me she decides to have sex. She's investing a little bit of her romantic and flirty vibes to other sources. But at the end of the day, she comes back to me. It's with me she is. I am committed to you. It's with you I am. I'm not planning to betray you. I'm not planning to cheat on you. I just want to have a little bit of interaction with other men in my field. It's not a crime. It's within the range of what's healthy. So, you know, this depends on cultures and the boundaries that are accepted in your relationship. You go to certain cultures, and what I'm talking about is absolute complete taboo. It's not okay for women to have any form of interaction with other males ever outside of the relationship. So I'm not questioning that, you know, it's like, what's important is that it's a conscious choice. At the end of the day, you do what you want. This is what I feel works when you want to strengthen the relationship and empower the women in your life, empower the feminine. It's a really beautiful feeling for women to feel empowered, not to feel suppressed. So I'm not here telling you what to do. I'm giving you the potential and the tools that if what you are doing is not working, you know, if women keep on breaking up with you because they feel limited and suppressed, then maybe what I'm suggesting might work a little bit better. But if you are part of, you know, a culture and this is just what you do, I'm not here to project my judgments. You know, I know what I would do if I was exposed to these situations, but I'm not here to, you know, to judge or to tell you what to do. Each one of us is a sovereign being, and we all wear the crown of this sovereignty. And you as a man, you have the power to be in your mature masculine and make decisions from a place of awareness. If you are navigating some extreme shadows inside of you, and you like having those shadows, that's up to you. You know, if you go like, yeah, I like being jealous, I like being an asshole to my girlfriend, I go like, fine, you know, this is your relationship. If she doesn't like, she might leave, she might go away from you, but if this is what you want to do, I'm not here to tell you not to do it. I'm saying, if I was in your position, I would not do it, but again, you know, you have the crown of sovereignty. As a coach, this is what I do. It's like, if this is your agenda, be my guest. You know, if you are breaking the law, maybe you will get arrested, and if you do it too much, maybe your girlfriend will break up with you, and then you come back to me and you might be like, yeah, I need some help or I need some advice, then I help you. But basically, I want you to know there is no pressure in what I'm sharing right now. It's like, you can adopt it if it works for you, or reject it if you go like, no, this is not for me, okay? So back to the reframing, she goes to the gym, and the reframing that I did right now is like, I am happy for you. I don't resent you. I am happy for you. I'm happy that you go to the gym. I'm happy that you're pretty. I'm happy that you are giving me your sexual energy when you come back. I'm happy that you are charged erotically, and I'm the one benefiting from that. Okay, so this reframing is really, really important. Or again, you know, you're in a situation where she might be having a conversation with a very attractive man at a party, at an event, and you, instead of being like, why is she always talking to these guys? She always, you know, always this attractive man, and she's really flirting with them. So that's the trigger jealousy mode, the unjustified trigger jealousy mode. The mature response would be something like, oh, here she is chatting with another man. Oh, here's a female friend that I haven't spoke to for a while. Let's go and engage and have a conversation. I'm happy that she's having a conversation with this guy, because then I can go and have conversations with women who I have in my field and I'm attracted to. Again, it doesn't mean that I want to cheat on my girlfriend. It means that I'm going to have a conversation. So reframing that is like, spaciousness is really healthy for your relationship. That's another mind frame. And if you are really a jealous person, you might be like, no, that's not. I go like, sure, you know, you can have a different belief than mine. In my field, I go like, it's really good to have spaciousness in the relationship. Come back together, not because you're forced to, but because your heart cannot stop itself. You don't want a girlfriend who comes to you because she feels controlled and she feels threatened if she's not showing up for you. You want a girlfriend who comes, or a wife or a partner who comes to you because she loves you, because she feels the heart opening inside of her when she's around you, and she goes like, this is the man with who I want to spend the rest of my life with. Because you're glorifying me, you're making me feel so good. So, you see, these are really the intricate dynamics that we are exploring. So this is mental reframing. You change your thought patterns. When you see yourself falling into an immature pattern, you go like, what's the opposite frame or the opposite response to what I'm just sharing right now? What's happening in my head? She always flirts with men. That's not okay. Yeah, she's flirting with men, so what? See, I just reframed. So you stalk yourself. You know, when you see yourself spinning and going into delusional loops of jealousy, you go like, no, I'm going to stop myself right now. I'm not interested in being in this whirlpool of stupid emotions. I'm going to strengthen my power and anchor myself in the mature masculine. So here is another tactic, which is really, really important. If you cannot measure to other men, if you have the feeling that every other man in your field is like more alpha than you are, more powerful, showing up better in relationships, has skills that you don't have, and so on, guess what? Do something about it. Do something about it. If you have the feeling that you cannot compete, or that you don't match, and that your level of insecurity increases when you are either in social situations, or you see your girlfriend chatting with another man and you go like, wow, this guy has way more muscles than I have, or is smarter, or has more money, or something like that, well, those are valid points. It's like sometimes a girlfriend, your partner, is going to choose another man because this man has got qualities and resources that you might not have. That's the hard truth. That's the way it works. So how do you increase your value to her? Well, increase your value. Increase, take care of yourself. Train, go to the gym, stay in good shape. First on the physical aspects and on the health aspects. Be somebody who is fun to be around, interesting, have an interesting life, have goals, passions, have mission in life. Surround yourself by interesting people. Connect with her. Don't spend your evenings on your laptop ignoring her. Show up for her. Be a romantic man. And so if there is a man who is showing up in her field and he's all full of attention and adoring her, guess what she needs? She needs to be adored. So be somebody who has the power to adore her. It's like show up in a way that is going to increase your value in her field. And you go like, wow, that's not fair. She should just love me for who I am. You go like, no, this is nonsense. Of course, you know, this is a competitive world. We are being, you know, attracted to what is going to feed our world the best. And if you have certain qualities, you go like, yeah, but we are married, we are soulmates. We decided, you know, years ago that this was going to be for life. So I don't have to do shit about it. You know, no, that's not true. It's like the contract that you might have with your girlfriend can be dissolved anytime, even if you are married. Yeah, but the vows, you know, the vows can be lies. I will love you forever. Really, or you love me until you get bored in the relationship. So what I'm saying right now is like, that might be a hard truth, okay? I know that I'm, you know, punching you right now because I want to encourage you to show up at your best. And I'm surrounded by incredible, beautiful, powerful men. Most of the men that I meet, I go like, wow, I'm so happy to have these males in my tribe, in my life. This is really fantastic. And sometimes I meet a man and I go like, wow, you are completely underperforming. You are in a place right now where your girlfriend might break up with you anytime. You are being an asshole, you are being an idiot, you are not showing up, you are depressed, angry, bitter, broke, unhealthy. You know, you accumulate the shadow points inside of you, and what do you expect? You know, of course you are going to feel jealous because you want to elbow any man who comes close to her so that you don't have to do anything about the quality of what you have to offer. So again, sorry if this is a hard truth, but that's the way it works. A woman will be attracted to somebody who has the power to feed her world, to show up for her. So if you are not in a position where you feel like you're in your power, do something about it. This is a wake-up call. When you have a jealousy trigger coming to the surface, you say, why am I triggered by this man? It's because this man is funny. He's making her laugh. You go like, okay, great. She's laughing a lot with him. She's not laughing with me. How does she feel when she's in my presence? Does she feel good? Does she feel enhanced? Does she feel open? Does she feel like I'm making love to her from a place of maturity and power and passion? Okay, so you want to upgrade your male codes. You want to be able to be like, my God, I'm so happy and I'm on top of my game. So this is not necessarily easy work, you know, but you have to focus on it. It's like, stay in good shape. Very often when I'm coaching men in the breakup zone, you know, straight after the breakup, they say, yeah, I started going to the gym again. You say, yeah, because you're on the market again for dating. Now you realize that you've got to do something about it. Because you developed a big belly and you're like eating junk food, and now suddenly you go like, oh, I'm going to start eating healthy and I'm going to train and get back in shape. You go like, yeah, you are doing it because you know that unless you do it, you have no chance of finding another mate. And so why not do that when you're still in the relationship? That's the question that I had for you. So again, that tactic or that strategy is very simple. It's like, if you don't measure to other men, if you feel threatened because other men have qualities that you don't have, then do something about it. And, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to do something in the field that this man is really good at. A man might be really funny, but he might not be very interesting in bed for her. But he's funny. He's like, he's cracking jokes. So he might be a good friend. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the funny guy. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to match on all these qualities. It doesn't mean that you have to develop like a bodybuilder body. No, of course not. But it means that there are certain qualities where you might be underperforming. So my advice is do something about it. And one of the core things is just be a fun partner to be with. Be romantic. Show up for her. Be sexy. Show up in your male power. And develop a little bit more of the alpha qualities that makes you attractive. Another quality that is really important is surround yourself with friends, have a network, have connections outside of the relationship. Don't depend just on your girlfriend to feed your world. Because if you do, of course, the jealousy triggers are going to be exploding a lot. Here is another advice, a quick tip on that one. Let me check the time. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. We're going to wrap it up, but one advice that is really important is sometimes the power dynamics in the relationship, especially when you are supporting her, when you're financially giving her money to launch her business, pay for her studies and so on, that creates an expected return. It might be most of the times unspoken, but if you are financing her, most of the times it's like you expect a higher level of commitment towards you. So there might be lots of jealousy triggers coming through that. It's something that I simply observed in my coaching. That's one of the core dynamics that is emerging very frequently. Okay, if you're still here, thank you for being present and holding the space for this transmission. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments over there, and I'll check them out and I'll come back to it. The other thing is, of course, here's a sales speech. No, just some invitations for you to check some of the resources. The first one is I have a program online about this topic, so it's called Master Your Jealousy Before It Destroys Your Relationships. You see, it's very targeted, it's very intentional, and I will give you a massive discount on that one, so I'll post on the links over there. And then the second thing is that I have coaching sessions as well. So very often, half of the men who reach out, we will have coaching one-on-one. The sessions are $150 for one session and $500 for a package of 4 sessions. And most of the times when you have some jealousy popping in and it has been an issue in your life, then I do believe that 4 sessions or a month. The target you can put it within something that is really specific is get rid of 80% of your unwanted jealousy within 30 days. You might still have some outbreaks, some insecurities, but you don't want to be in that state all the time. So get rid of 80% of your jealousy, unjustified jealousy, within 30 days. That's the target. One more thing about that, I coach couples, so if you are facing dynamics in a relationship that are difficult to handle, I'm happy to sit down with the two of you and either via Zoom or virtual conversation or face-to-face. Those works really well. And anything else that has to do with relationship challenges, communication, breakups, shadow outbreaks and stuff like that, I'm really happy to guide you through that in coaching sessions. I have about 5,000 pages of content on my website. Most of it is in free access. Feel free to dig into it, reach out, tell your friends about this video and this program and myself if you know somebody in your field who's got jealousy issues. And everything that I mentioned here today can be mirrored, of course. If you are a jealous woman and you're watching this, then you can apply the similar kind of tactics. There are some very light distinctions, but basically the mindsets are very, very, very similar. Okay. Thank you for holding the space. Throw your hands to the sky with big Jaya. Jaya means victory, okay? I love you. I will see you soon. Take care.